Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, in the middle of the class trial, and it's been like a week since I played like the last part. Even though I usually record like the week's worth of stuff like at the same time, I recorded ahead last week. I recorded 2 parts, but didn't get to this one, so now it's like I was trying to get ahead, now I'm behind again, so whatever. It's a good thing I recorded ahead because I wouldn't have time to do all 3 this week. But anyway, so we're trying to figure out Nagato's death, and I think we just went through and discussed like him rigging up the thing to stab himself and all that crazy weirdness. But anyway, before we get into that, there was something I wanted to kind of bring up. That sounds so like terrible, like, but it's not. It's good. So one of you guys asked on my Sim series where I did the cast from the first Danganronpa if I was planning to do these guys, and I absolutely am. I did comment on that, but I absolutely am planning to do these guys at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it. And, you know, because I had a ton of custom content when I did the first set. And now I don't have as much. And so, like, part of me is like, oh, but it's going to be so hard to get everything right. And then I'm like, who cares? We'll just use whatever we have, because like we could probably make it work even if we don't have the exact stuff, because that's what I had to do the first time, is just work with what I had, and we'll just have less and we'll have to get more creative and stuff. But anyway, so yes, eventually these guys, I'll be doing the CAS for all of them because, you know, I just enjoy doing that. I just got to find the momentum to do it, and like, you know, and then get the thumbnails and everything created, because, you know, whatever, all that stuff. So eventually that will be coming. Maybe I'll make myself spend time doing that after this series ends, just because, as one of you guys kindly pointed out, which I love you and I hate you for this, and I'll explain that. Danganronpa version 3 is not coming out till September. I said June because the last time I ever looked, it said June. It said June of 2017, which should have been like an indicator that that's a tentative kind of date, which it obviously was, because now the release date is the end of September, and there's actually a date, I think it's the 26th or something. So as one of you was kind enough to point that out, I hate you for pointing that out, because it kills me, because June is far enough away, and then saying like, now it's September! Damn them! Like, that's so much further away! But thank you for pointing that out, because at least now I know, because like, I wasn't planning on, like, I would have checked sometime coming up in June and been like, what the frick? I had to know that June 2017 was just a generic placeholder, but I just don't think I want to accept that it's not going to be till September. But as we can figure, this will end long before version 3 comes out, which is going to probably kill me, because we did version 1 and we waited, I think, maybe like a week. It didn't seem like any time in between for you guys between version 1 and version 2, or 1 and 2, whatever. But it didn't seem like a lot of time for you, but I had recorded so much ahead, and then I had like a couple of weeks to like let the first one settle in before I started this one. But we're gonna have months. We're gonna like have a freaking year. I mean, I think there's a chapter after this. I don't know if there's another class trial after this. I'm not sure. But like, maybe we get through the end of this month. Maybe we make it into April. Like, let's just say even if we make it all the way through April, we have 5 months then, because it's not coming out till the end of September. So we have 5 to 6 months. So that's gonna kill me. But maybe we'll do the CAS series for these guys and throw it in there for the Sim stuff. So I know it's not the same as this game, but you know what? But one of the other things I was thinking, because somebody asked, and I thought about it, but I didn't really think too much on it, but I have been thinking about it more lately, is somebody asked if I was going to do a Sim series with the Danganronpa Sims that I made. And I was like, I have so many going, and I can't really feasibly think about putting it in there and whatever. But then I was like, well, you know what? This is going to end. Danganronpa 3 isn't coming out till the end of September. We have plenty of freaking time. And I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. So I've been thinking about it, and I was thinking like, well, maybe we could do it like the Warehouse on Black Street challenge. So that's basically like you test the Sims, you take them, they're all locked in a warehouse, so works out perfectly. They're all locked someplace, and they have to compete on things like painting, and whoever has the crappiest painting skill or whatever at the end of the week, they're the person that goes into the red room and they die. So work out. Then I started kind of coming up with my own way of doing it. So I'm kind of working on that right now, trying to figure out the logistics of like how to determine the student that dies. So it obviously wouldn't follow the first game, but I'm going to use all the Sims, the Danganronpa Sims that I made from the first game. I'm trying to write my own semi-challenge. It's going to be a work in progress, so it's going to be like, we're going to be hitting a lot of roadblocks as we play, but we'll test it out as we do it. Random dice rolls, random things to pick out which student dies, a random way to determine how they die. I'm just going to probably use a generic cheat to kill them as opposed to actually trying to kill them that way. But we'll kind of write into almost like a little story, like, oh, this is how they died, and this is how they were found, and like whatever. And then we'll have a random roll to determine who the killer is, and then obviously that student would die too. So it'll all be completely random, and we'll kind of just have to work with that. So it'll be kind of fun, and there won't be a lot of like, it's not like I am going to, because it would be a lot of work to write out a story and be like, okay, this person dies like this, and this person killed them, and this is why. And it's like, that could be really good, but I don't want it to be obvious, and it would take a lot of work to do that, and I just don't have that kind of time. So it's going to be hard enough doing a whole other Sim series when I have 7 going, but since we won't have this to record when this is over, I think that would be a good thing to put in there. What I'll probably do is I'll do 2 episodes a week. So the first episode in the beginning of the week would be just a normal, like, hang out with everybody and everybody's doing their own thing type of a thing, like the in-between class trial and somebody dying kind of stuff that we would normally see in the game. Hanging out, getting to know each other, you know, doing their thing, whatever. And then the second episode would be at the very beginning, would be, okay, I'll do the roll off screen, whatever, record, okay, this is, and I'll kill that sim, and okay, now we're going to start with this is the person dying, and the whole episode would then be figuring out who did it and what happened, and like going around, like it'll still be like normal playing, but then we'll, at the end of the episode or whatnot, we'll do a random dice roll for who the killer was and find out, and like, maybe we'll have to try to figure out, like, as we're going, like, well, why would this person do it and whatnot. If you have any ideas for, like, other little nuances for that, leave them. Leave suggestions and everything, because I'll try to incorporate that, and we'll see what we can come up with. But that's just kind of, like, the rough plan that I'm going with. So what I'll be working on between when this ends and when we can get that started is I'm actually going to build Hope's Peak Academy in The Sims. It's going to be a pain in the ass, because looking from what they show you of, here's the front of the school, and then the floor plan is like, it doesn't match up. It doesn't. You're like, that's not how the building is structured. And like the first 2 floors are okay, but the rest of it, you're like, the fuck is that? Like, that's not how, because I literally sketched out, I sat there last night and sketched out every freaking floor, except for the 5th floor. I had to rearrange things because you can only build 4 floors in The Sims. I suppose we could have done a basement, but maybe we'll have to. I don't know. But it's like, so I'm like, I'm going to have to kind of work on that, and it's going to be like a train wreck. And maybe we'll do, a build series, in between when this ends and when we're ready to start that, because I'm thinking like at least a 12-week series for that, because I have components in there for maybe multiple people die and like whatever, and I'll explain all the rules and everything like that when we get to that. But I just want you to know I'm working on it. That'll be something to kind of get our Danganronpa fix before version 3 comes out. There's still going to be a lot of time in between, but then maybe after that Sim series kind of ends, maybe we'll do the cast for these guys, because I'm thinking of doing the first series, and then we'll obviously have some people left over, like 3 or 4 Sims that survive, and then maybe what we'll do is at the end, after we go through all 3 versions, because that's what I would like to do, then we'll have like an all-stars version where like we can either pick our favorite Sims, or we can just do the people who live from each series, 3 or 4 of them, whichever one, and then all of those guys compete, and then we'll just like, and we'll do like a 12-week series with that, and then, so it's like a Hunger Games kind of Danganronpa tie-in thing. Anyway, that's that. So now that I've wasted 10 minutes talking about that, let's actually get in and actually play this damn game. So, all right, let's figure that out. Okay, so I believe we read this last time, but anyway. Why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagato's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes. You're right.
It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Happy.
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer?
But he sounds way too excited. You're way too excited about this. And besides, you know that's not how it's gonna work out. That's not it. Somebody's dying.
Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Yeah.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
Won't it? I just feel like...
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
Huh?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that even he couldn't have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? And here I thought we were finally finished.
Man, we just really love this. Something related to Nagito's death. A piece of evidence that even he couldn't mess with. Okay. That's... It popped up on this, and that's kind of true, because he couldn't have... He could mess with all of that. He could mess with that. He could kind of... Well, he couldn't mess with that, but... That was all... The accounts, I don't think are gonna... I'm just gonna... Try that?
See!
Okay. I was like, I don't know. He could mess with all those other things.
Is it about the Monokuma File?
Yeah, that's it.
Like the time of death?
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma File?
The victim is Nagito Komeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. It's the time of death, I'm assuming. The suspicious part of the Monokuma File is that Chiaki is worried about. Is it the... What is it? What's hidden in the Monokuma File? Could it be... Is it something that isn't clearly written in the Monokuma File this time? No, the time of death is clearly written in there. Cause of death? Oh my god. I'm too... Damn it! Shit. Damn it! gonna lose this. Damn it. Oh my god, that was so hard! There's like too many letters. I didn't realize you could pick up more than one. Like, I'm so dumb, but holy shit.
In this particular case's Monokuma File, there's no specific cause of death.
Oh my god, I almost had a heart attack. I'm like, there's too many letters coming at me! I don't like these. They're getting harder as they go, and I don't like it at all. I put it on easy for a reason, game! Not only is there a spear stab in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. That's true, it just isn't... The body was discovered.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was the cause of death.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma, I plead the fifth!
The fifth?
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
Lies.
But even during Gundam's case, and before during Mikan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death?
But if he killed himself, and that wasn't the cause of death... the poison in his room? But... So, wouldn't he have died whether there was poison or not? And it's like, why would you go through all that trouble to set up a suicide that was a murder? I don't understand.
Are you
He's a crazy
suggesting
son of a bitch.
again that his death wasn't a suicide?
He's a crazy son of a bitch, son.
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide.
It's a suicide, a murder?
Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his
Sense?
malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
This is true.
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote?
No!
I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe.
You're right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
This is friggin' annoying. But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Hey, Monokuma, you heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait.
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be all right. That's what I believe.
Oh, splendid. You guys are so splendid right now. That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
All your hopes are united. No despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope that can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then, the situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. But is there actually a killer? Or... no, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. Nagito is his own murderer!
No, no!
Man, my heart was racing like crazy when I thought the voting time was gonna start, but... Well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Monomi? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand the silence when you're all alone with someone else. So, Monomi and I are the bestest of best friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. Enough! Why do I have to be hated that much? Besides the fact that you snap at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a teensy tiny 1 millimeter bit. How sad. Just trusting your friend is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know. We aren't even friends in the first place. Then as your older brother, let me say this. You're not even my brother. It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys. Well, there may be some demands for that. I fell for it! I totally took the man bait! Man bait? What the fuck? Boop.
I'm Monomi. By now, there's nothing more for me to say. Anyway, my chest is full of pride right now. Everyone is united against despair. They're totally awesome. That's why I'm gonna fight too. I will fight the only way I can. I'm gonna show that guy my fearsome retaliation. That's basically it.
So if we're working together, where do we start? With the cause of death missing from the Monokuma File?
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions before we discuss this? In the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming Nagito's death was caused by the spear. It's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities. That's what I think.
Other possibilities. Huh.
The poison?
If something other than the spear killed Nagito, all I can think of is the knife stabbed into his hand, but...
I mean, we found that for a reason, so what the hell is that all about?
That was definitely a gruesome wound, but it wouldn't be the fatal wound, don't you think?
If you think the cuts on his legs and left arm aren't the fatal wounds...
Are we finished already?
I feel like it's possible that we overlooked something.
Because you can't see it, because it's a gas! Overlooked, huh?
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Exactly! We should cooperate at a time like this.
Fatal wound that wasn't the spear. I don't even know if it actually exists, but if it does, we need to find out what it is, no matter what. Make your argument! Poison. Poison, 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 poison!
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand, right?
It was the piece of blue paper that killed him.
It's not the other wounds, right?
It's definitely the poison.
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
Nope.
There's no way he burned to death.
Nope.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
Yes!
I agree with that.
I agree with that!
That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
We found poison in his room.
Poison? It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
I remember, when I went to investigate Nagito's cottage, I discovered something really strange. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing.
Well, I mean, poison is usually not made for, like, partying.
I see. Now that you mention
Just
it,
talking about the band.
there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
No. There's a club called Poison Man? A band? Song? A recipe? You know, like you need dirt, which is just like Oreo crumble and putting in weird shit. I forget what it is, but anyway, you know what I'm saying.
If poison was the cause of death,
I mean, it's
it
usually.
would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
And Monokuma Special Poison kind of doesn't sound like it's like a really cool cocktail!
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see. You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
But this is Monokuma Special Poison.
What does that mean?
But even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
His left hand was tied up and gripping the spear, and his right hand had a knife stuck in it.
But didn't that poison say something about, like, be careful with it? Because, like, we were being careful with it, and not because, like, oh, if it spills out of the bottle, it's like if we drop it and break it, we would die. So wasn't it, like, weren't we thinking that if you blew it up, it was a gaseous poison or something?
If it was a
I
slow-acting
remember.
poison, it is possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
Then it's impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
His mouth was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
She's got an obsession with hardtail, fronttail, whatever she wants to call it. Like, yeah, I don't think that's carrying poison. And like, oh, I'll flip a bottle of poison now. Good lord, girl.
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might be impossible. Just kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities
It's
yet.
probably impossible. I'm kidding.
Are there any left?
There probably are, but should we? Yeah, we'll keep
Hell
going.
no.
But
No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear.
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him.
did really kill him. Actually, I am going to stop this. I know that we talked about stuff in the beginning and we lost 10 minutes, but still, you know what? Anyway, we're going to find out next time. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.